Oh, Caesar.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Everything's about set up, but since we have an article for today, Caesar, would you want to read the article with us, or should we like read the article first, and then we'll just focus on your interview like as its own thing?
Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds pretty fun.
All right, so I'll probably be the first thing that we do. I'll just we'll all introduce ourselves. Then I'll give you a little introduction, and then I'll say your name, and I'll say you're here. Then you can say hi, and then we'll go straight into the article. We have a few minutes to kill first, though.
Sounds good to me.
Also, thank you so much for the photos. They're perfect.
Oh, really? I didn't know how many to send, but I think from what you told me on Discord, I thought that would be all right.
Yeah, yeah, it's literally perfect.
Nice.
We're already getting comments from the viewers.
Oh yeah, Black with the Strap is here. Oh shoot, sorry, should be on the wait screen.
He's screaming
Sorry,
in
one sec,
agony.
one sec. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, so I should just keep it on the Discord the whole time. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're here.
Oh, I'm next to Evan today. We're sandwiching Evan.
Yeah,
Very
we're
nice.
My
My
sandwiching
camera
Evan for right
is
now.
weird today. Very fuzzy today.
Yeah, it was great. Oh man, I'm not on my G Fuel this morning, but it's all right. So
Stop making
hey.
it sound like a drug. I'm not on my G Fuel this morning. I'm one day
It is a
sober.
drug.
All right. So for the people at home, this is the We Need Sleep podcast, and today we have a very special episode for you. But before we get into that, let's all give ourselves a little introduction. I'm Emmy. I'm the producer and host of this show. Next to me, I have Evan.
Hello, I'm Evan, and I am the writer of the articles for here, and I am the funny man, the straight man, the stud, the jock. And
The
right
hot
here
one.
to my right is John.
Hello, I'm the social media manager sometimes, and I'm also one of the hosts.
Yeah.
And Evan is all those things, by the way. He's not lying to you. You should see his massive biceps.
Oh my God, he is ripped. Just because he's sandwiched between us
Yeah,
today that you can't see him. There you go. See.
It's for camera quality. In real life, he's like way more like meaty.
yeah,
For
exactly.
And oh well, actually, I'm not gonna go into too many details because we have a guest today. Guys.
A very very special guest.
So this is a personal friend of mine. He's a very very talented individual. He has a lot going on. So without further ado, we have Caesar Vega, otherwise known as BigCease. So let's give him a warm welcome. Hello, Caesar.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
I don't know about. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. How about everybody? I think I've met John before in person, from what I
Hey
remember.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys got to meet that one time at the party.
Mhm. It was your
Yeah.
birthday.
And then, you got to meet Evan when we were. God, my room's a mess. You got to meet Evan during one of our practice sessions, but yeah.
Hello.
So today, it's gonna be pretty simple. Our artist of the week and both of the songs of the day are actually straight from Caesar because he's a musician himself, and we're gonna talk all about his music today. But first, before we get into that, to kind of warm up, we have an article to read. And I'll go in the order of me, Evan, John, and Caesar. We'll just kind of popcorn the paragraphs.
Okay.
So let's get into it. Here we go. So the article for today is "Man wins millions in blackjack. Didn't even realize he was playing." So yeah,
Well.
Caesar, for you to read this, you could just look at it in the Discord share screen for now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so on April 31st, 27-year-old Dalton David found himself over $1 million richer in Las Vegas, all thanks to blackjack. Yet he wasn't even hoping to gamble in the first place. When interviewers asked what he was even doing in the casino, he said that he just liked the smell of cigarette smoke. Ew.
Most people were complimenting his level-headed playstyle and immense ability in the skill-based game. He reported that he cannot understand English very well, so whenever the dealer asked a question, he would just nod his head to avoid making it awkward.
Our statisticianist calculated that the odds of being able to win enough times to gain $1 million in winnings would actually be pretty low. Wild.
When David realized he had won the money, he was hoping to purchase 50% of the fancy yacht. Unfortunately, he soon realized that he was not allowed to keep the money, as what happened in Vegas always stays in Vegas.
And off to the side, we have a blackjack and the Jack Black comparison. I feel like that's thank you for clarifying that. And this is the 50% of the fancy yacht. So it's a cute little article. Caesar, have you seen any of our other articles by any chance?
I don't remember if you guys had one in the first episode. I don't remember, but I also remember seeing a preview for one of the other podcasts that you guys had, and you guys were talking about an article that was about I don't remember, but I have a remembrance of you guys talking about an article already.
All right, for sure. Well, if you're into that sort of stuff, we have a bunch of silly ones over on the website.
Oh wait, I think it was the one about the Burger King. Burger King. I think that's what. I think that's what.
Yeah, about how the manager got fired for calling his coworker British at a Burger King.
It was a little ridiculous, but it was pretty funny.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of my favorite articles personally. But yeah, let's get into this interview. So as I said before, we have Caesar Vega with us today, otherwise known as BigCease. That's your artist name, right?
Whoa. Yeah, that's my artist name, but that's also my my nickname amongst my close group of friends.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was.
Yeah.
All right, Caesar.
It was Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah. Go for it. Tell us a little more about the name if you want.
Please
Yeah,
do.
it was just because at the time believe I was a sophomore in high school, and one of my buddies in orchestra, because I was always big into music. In high school I was in every music group except jazz band. But my buddy, yeah, I still remember this clear as day. He had two options for me. It was either calling me Big C's. Originally he wanted to call me Daddy Thick, but I'm like, that's not gonna fly. I'm not doing that. So it just kind of stuck to Big C's, and I'm like, all right. Even
uh,
now, people that I meet for the first time, like after a week or so that I just talked to, them, they just call me like C's in general or Big C's, and they don't even know about the nickname, which is surprising. I'm just like, oh, all right, I guess
that's
it
just
just
kind of how
kind
they
of,
know you, huh?
I guess so.
That's kind of cool. I mean, it is definitely one of those interesting nicknames. I'm kind of sad to hear that. What was it, Big Daddy?
Daddy Thick,
With
yeah,
Daddy
no,
Thick.
oh,
Sad to hear
that
that.
can be
That's
your
a
Well,
little
it's a
alter
bad.
great
ego.
name.
That can be your alter ego.
There we
my
That could be
alter
good,
ego.
yeah.
go.
Yeah, my nighttime name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a certain superhero they've been advertising recently. Um, all right, Caesar. So, let us know what do you do for a living, Caesar? What do you have going on in that aspect right now?
So the album itself was released back in February, and then it's on every streaming platform as well. And so, but after it was released, I've had about maybe 2 gigs so far, just trying to do my best to promote everything myself. And then I'm also in the process right now of working on more music. I plan on releasing another EP before the year ends, and another album sometime next year. It's all already written out for the most part. I'm just figuring out right now what else to add to it, rhythm wise, harmony wise, melodies that come to that. I also have a podcast myself, but it's an audio. There's no visuals for it at the moment. Eventually, I think I'd like to add visuals and stuff. If any of you ever seen what Joe Rogan does, I kind of want to do in that
Oh
aspect
yeah.
of podcasting.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very beautiful.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That would be
I
great.
have
Yeah.
that.
Go on, Caesar. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all
I
good.
always tend to cut off my sentences before I keep going on, but I have that, and I also have a gaming channel as well with my best friend who co-hosts with me on my podcast called Vibin. That's on my YouTube channel, just Big C's, and then the gaming channel we have is called Clueless. It's just we just play games and do some really odd and live action stuff. We have a couple of videos of us eating like pretty disgusting stuff that we made, but it's just for fun, really. And I'm a music theory tutor as well. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys
No,
Sunday as well. I do
I
that on the side. No.
that's
Oh,
sick.
okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's not as great as you think it is because it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it just gets a little draining because sometimes when I have a session, it's really hard because you know how some people are very nervous of asking questions the first hand time when it comes to certain stuff, and so you kind of have to like. For me, sometimes I have to kind of drag it out the person what they're trying to work with and how to go, to how to have it go on from there. It's fun, but sometimes it's just a little.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, for me personally, I always felt like teaching would be pretty rough because I suck at explaining it myself, but then having to have the other person kind of like tell you what they don't know or like that form of communication does sound pretty tough. But you're definitely very skilled in music theory. I know that from listening to your music, you definitely have all the expertise there. All I have is like a high school class under my belt. I'm pretty sure you have a lot more than what I know.
Um, Well, personally, I think when it comes to the music that I have made, there's some aspects of theory that were involved in it, but I tend to take more of an approach of how John Mayer writes music, since he's one of my biggest influences when it comes to being a solo artist and a musician in general. I don't necessarily tend to focus on chord progressions. I don't sit down and be like, "Oh, I'm going to play a 1 4 5 7 flat, whatever." I'm not going to sit down and think about it because then that just puts too much thought into it. I just like to listen for the color and the shape of whatever notes I play in a certain chord, and then I just tend to go from there, either on my keyboard or on my guitar. I figure it out that way, and then I just go from there.
That's an interesting process. Um, Definitely. So, would you say that you like to write music by ear? Is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I am not too much of a composer myself in a classical sense when it comes to like writing notes on staff lines and everything. I have a buddy of mine who's really good at a good bit of composing and arranging himself. But to me, I was never too interested in that aspect when it came to writing music because it's too technical in my mind. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a moron, and I don't have the attention span because of my ADHD to sit down and actually think about an arrangement when it comes to like, all right, guitar, this. And no, I just like to do things by ear, take notes, and then as it works itself out, I write down along my process of like, oh, I'm going to start here with this chord, and then I just build upon that over time. But I don't do it in a traditional sense when it comes to composing.
Oh yeah, no, because yeah, in the traditional sense, there'd be a lot of focus on like melody and chords and stuff. But honestly, that's not what a lot of people do nowadays. And I'm kind of glad that you were able to find your own form of process that's, you know, interesting in it of itself, and it actually does seem to work out really well for you too. So that's just awesome.
For my band class, we learned about a composer, David Manzlaka. He created some really great works, and the way he did it was creating by ear. He'd go on a piano and he just create it basically note by note. He just kind of listen to what sounds right and then write it down and go off of that. And he creates some really, really nice stuff. Kind of classical, but more recent. He passed away a few years back, I think.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
did,
really?
didn't he? Yeah, David Maslanka. Oh man, he's honestly one of the best composers I know of.
I gotta check out some of his stuff. That sounds pretty interesting.
Definitely, if anything, you know,
Let
Evan and I could both recommend you some of our favorite music from him.
Please, I
Saint
love listening to music.
Francis, David Manzlaka, stuff like that. It's just very nice.
Definitely. John, you were gonna say something?
Okay, so I have a question. Earlier you mentioned that you see, I guess, the sound of the music like in shapes and colors. Do you have synesthesia? Like do you have synesthesia where like you can see like sounds and stuff as like color? Or is it more of just like that's how you usually always seen like sounds and music and stuff?
I've heard of that particular. What is it like? Is it a? I don't know how to
Uh
describe it, but it's more of uh, like a thinking kind of thing that happens or something. I don't know necessarily
mhm,
know how to describe it, but I know what you're talking about. I've heard it before, and
yeah.
I'd like to. No, I don't have that. I really wish I did because in my mind I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool to see that. But no, I
Uh,
wish I did, but I don't.
oh, okay. Just wondering.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting. Um, so when we talk about the album, actually, let me just pull up the information so you guys can check it out. It's called A Look Inside. It's 8 songs. Released this year. I have it right here, pulled up on Spotify. Uh, Caesar, what would you say your genre is exactly?
Very very indie rock. I
Indie
don't
rock.
indie rock for sure, definitely. I have some people who have listened to it, family and other friends and other people that have come across it. There's like I had my oldest brother tell me he's like, yeah, it's kind of like psychedelic, kind of dreamy stuff you do. I'm just like, in my mind, I didn't want to like press it forward with him. I was just like, sure, and I agreed with him. It's not necessarily psychedelic or in that aspect that he was saying. Dreamy, I can see. The psychedelic, no. When I think of psychedelic stuff, I think more of the genre of artists who like Pink Floyd. That's very psychedelic. And then, but yeah, I tend to lean really towards indie rock for sure. Maybe you could categorize it as soft rock as too, but for the most part, it's very indie. It's not really pop. It's not progressive, that's for sure, and it's not bluesy. It's just
Mhm.
its own independent thing.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. When listening to the album, that's kind of the same. There is a little bit of psychedelic feel to me personally. When I go through some of the songs, I don't know if the boys would agree. Um,
I don't.
I can
To
no.
see
be
where it
honest
comes
with you.
from, but not particularly.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
I can. Yeah, I can see. I can see where, but I'm like, I don't necessarily agree. I can see it. I can see your point of view, but I don't agree.
All right, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Actually,
I believe for the first song, definitely for sure. If you want to categorize that, definitely. But for everything else, I don't really think it falls into that a little bit.
okay, and Otherwise, we have a song to play right now. We have two songs to play today during the podcast. This first one is called "Don't Tell Me Twice," and yeah, let's give it a quick listen.
Oh, all right,
So
cool.
all of us will mute, and we'll just have that playing for a little bit.
Right on.
Don't tell me twice. Sometimes I wanna pack it all up, get on a bus and go far away. I think I wanna go to Maine, so say what you wanna dream. So say what you wanna dream. Sometimes I wanna go really fast, get on a plane and fly far away. I think I wanna go to space, so say what you wanna dream. So say what you wanna dream. Is it okay to even dream when you come down and see what it really is? You wanna believe to make that dream reality. You want to watch me bleed all over the Tavertine, so make this day a special one, a day to never forget. Don't tell me twice. Sometimes I wanna pack it all up, get on a bus and go far away. I think I wanna go to Maine, so say what you wanna dream. Sometimes I wanna go really fast, get on a plane and fly far away. I think I wanna go to space, so say what you wanna dream. Say what you wanna dream. Say what you wanna dream.
Woo! Honestly, that's so good, dude.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my other favorite songs on the album. I have two. We'll play my favorite at the end. Um, but yeah, I heard that one. I was like, damn, we have to show that one on the podcast.
One of the things I actually thought of kind of relate to the genre is the fact that sometimes the music. John said that he thought some tracks his favorite were different than your favorite, Semi.
Yeah.
And it's just how it feels like there was a lot of varied music in there. So it's just a lot of different things for people with different tastes, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, because your favorite tracks from what you posted were the one you just played, and sorry, I'm not good with names, and Grabbing the Moon version too.
Right.
I was like, oh, because I listened to the whole album yesterday, and I was like, oh, I those yeah, okay, those are my favorite. In my opinion, my favorite are Cosmic Space and The One and Only. Those are my personal favorites out of the whole album. So that I thought was interesting because I'm like, oh, we're listening to the exact same thing, but we're enjoying it very differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that just kind of goes to show how like everyone has their own interpretation of art. Also, yes,
Yeah,
there should be
there's
part
like
that you know
yeah.
people have to interpret it because that's a pretty cool thing for artists to go through.
I usually don't listen to lyrics. I still didn't, to be completely honest. But Cosmic Space really, that was the one I was like, oh yeah, this is very relatable. I felt like this constantly throughout my life. I was like, oh yeah, me too, bud, me too. Time to keep working. I wanted to
No,
work. Huh?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut anyone off. I was gonna say like, no, I mean you're definitely right. Why? Yeah, I like everything that all you guys are saying. I try to write something for at least each song for it to be a little bit different, so that some people
Mhm.
can at least have one thing that they like if they don't like everything else. But I think that's almost every artist that tries to do that at least. At least
Oh
that's
yeah.
what I would think and feel.
Definitely, definitely. All right, John, I'll let you ask away.
Nope, I'm going first. Kudos already. All right, so the big question: how are you?
Me,
Um, yes. How's your morning going so far?
um, I've had about 3.5 hours of sleep. And so I had a nice cup of tea this morning, black, to wake me up before this. So other than that, I feel pretty good. How about yourself?
Um, pretty good. Same here. Also have black tea. Has a good amount of caffeine. Very good. So I've been told, and I learned from yesterday that you're proficient in a good amount of instruments. How did that help you throughout making the album?
How did it help me? So,
Yeah.
well, it helped me for the most part because every instrument that you hear on the album, I play. The bass, the guitar, the piano, the trumpet, the vocals, the drums. I played it all myself. At first, I didn't, about, I'd say maybe 3.5 years ago, I didn't know how to play anything besides trumpet, honestly.
Oh
And
wow.
that's when my curiosity really started peaking when it came to music. Because like I said, I can't focus on just one thing for the most part, and I tried to for a very long time when it came to trumpet. I want to be proficient in trumpet, but there was a point where I reached where I just got pretty burnt out, and that's when I was studying trumpet performance when I was in school, and there was a point where when my trumpet teacher would tell me, if I want to be pro, I got to practice 6 hours a day, live, eat, breathe trumpet. And at the time, for like a good year and a half, I stuck to that like religiously. And I really wanted to. But there was a point after that, maybe a few months after that, where I really couldn't practice for 6 hours a day. I just didn't have the chops to really like go pro in that sense when it came to playing trumpet. I could do 2.5, 3 hours at most, but it was just too stressful for my mind when it came to when I wanted to play music. And in my mind, I always wanted to focus on being an artist myself and making music, like how I would hear when I was younger on the radio. Like I would always hear John Mayer and Foo Fighters. I was just playing whenever I was going out with my dad doing something. And very distinctly, I really remember one song from John Mayer that I would hear on the radio all the time when I was, I think, 5 or 6. I think it was a Heartbreak Warfare from his Battle Studies album. I would remember hearing that religiously when I'd go visit my brother at the hospital. Well, because my oldest brother had some problems with kidney stones. So I specifically remember listening to that every time we would drive out to Loma Linda. That song would always come on. I'm just like, man, that guy has a great singing voice. And I would pretend to be like, yeah, that's me singing. Everybody has done that, obviously. And
Oh yeah.
so When it came to a decision if I wanted to just continue just playing trumpet or making music like that, I was just like, no, I'm just gonna follow. I'm gonna just follow what I've always wanted to do and just make my own music.
Man, that's great, dude.
It's
Dude,
it's kind of like what you said
awesome.
before. You're going by a feeling more than like a structural thing, and I think that helps a lot.
I like to think so.
What was the song again? The one you would listen to every time you would go to Loma Linda. What was this? What was the song called?
It was a Heartbreak Warfare. It's from John Mayer's album Battle Studies, I believe.
I
I'll
haven't
be
heard
sure to
that one
check it
yet.
out.
Yeah, John Mayer's awesome.
Yeah, he's the way he sings and the way he writes music, especially his latest album, Sob Rock. That's really good.
Okay, then I've been catching up to do then for sure.
Uh, I have a question myself. Where does your musical muse come from? Your inspiration? Like I know you said, sorry, I always forget the name, John Mayer. But is there any other inspiration?
Um, yes, and that list is very, very, very long because for the past 2 years I've been listening to 7 albums every week. I haven't for like about a month because I've just been like kind of on a stop and just been really into the podcast mood. But yeah, I'd listen religiously to music for a very long time. I've always have. But before I would never listen to full albums. I would just listen to singles. It wasn't until I listened to Weezer's Blue album for the first time, like maybe 2 years ago, and in its entirety, was when I really started getting into listening to full length albums. And so when it comes to inspirations, Weezer is definitely one of my biggest inspirations. Radiohead is a really big inspiration for me as well when it comes to doing like that kind of like psychedelic kind of groove kind of rock, even though they're not particularly psychedelic. But if you ever listen to their albums "Hail to the Thief" and "In Rainbows," that's pretty far out there when it comes to them incorporating like styles of psychedelic into their rock. So, and my favorite band, I believe, is Oasis. If you ever heard of Oasis, I'm pretty sure you've all heard of Wonderwall, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
Big
that's from
time,
the
big
band
time.
Oasis. And yeah, I really, really love Oasis. I'm really into Jacob Collier as well. And then I have a favorite trumpet player that I listen to from time to time as well, and that's Chet Baker. I just love the way he sings and plays trumpet. I listen, man, Foo Fighters, like I've mentioned before, definitely. John Mayer for sure, hands down. Um, Queen is another favorite of mine. It's another
Yeah,
inspiration.
there we go.
I um I really also like Kanye West, like his earlier stuff when it comes to his lyricism, especially I always get the name of his first album wrong, but I think it's College Boy Dropout or A College Boy Dropout, something like that. I relate to that album very very hard, and I really just like the way his words would flow and his style of G funk was coming into play. I was like, oh, this is really good. I also like MF Doom. I really like Sarface. I could keep talking about this forever, so I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I think that's a pretty good distinguish of the music that I really like to listen to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you mentioned Jacob Collier specifically. I love Jacob Collier, and MF Doom as well. I've listened to some of his stuff. Wow, you have inspiration coming from like all sides. You have rap, you have
Like from
rock.
genres even more than artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're more like a genre listener at this
I mean,
point.
if it catches my interest, whatever it is, I'll definitely listen to it. That's all I really care about.
Dang. Well, that's awesome. So, as far as music goes, you got a lot going for you. You have a great album out. You know a lot of stuff, man. I mean, it's truly impressive. But let's move a little bit more into the other stuff that you do, because not only are you like a musician, you're also basically a content creator. You're a content creator up in the coming. Let's talk about the podcast a little bit. A little bit. You kind of gave us an introduction in the beginning. Um, you said that it's a podcast that you do with your friend. What do you guys talk about on the podcast?
So on that podcast, we have a big inspiration when it comes to Joe Rogan, me and my best friend. And so on that podcast, if anybody listening to this podcast listens to my podcast Vivin on my YouTube channel, forewarn, there's no video. because we do tend to get like really high and just talk about stuff. And so what we usually talk about are recent events and stuff that happened. Like there's an episode that's coming out, I believe, in a few days, and then another one after that that pertains to what's been happening with what happened with Will Smith. We all know what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Very unfortunate and very ridiculous. But and then I believe we also touched up a little bit on what's happening with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard as well. So we try to keep things somewhat relevant, and then we also just go into things that we'll talk about, like music, video games, and then whatever else comes off the tongue. We like to read articles too ourselves, like how you started off the podcast with, which is very nice. I like the way that you guys started it off with. But usually, how we like to start and end the podcast, we start the podcast about music, and then we end it with music recommendations, and then we just go from there and see how natural it feels. There's a lot of swearing in it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's a lot of swearing in it. So if you're not big into swearing, because like I said, we're just high off our minds, just talking about stuff. If that's not your flavor, then don't check it out if you don't want to. If you're down for it, if you like kind of like what Joe Rogan does, then check it out.
It sounds very similar to what we're doing here, honest to God.
Including the swearing, honestly.
Yeah, we swear a lot. I think mainly me, being honest.
Mainly who? Wait, who?
Mainly myself.
No, mainly me, dude. I say fuck like in every sentence, honest to God.
Okay, well that's okay. That's the case, and yeah, it's you. I don't say fuck every sentence. I say fuck every 5 sentences.
I literally had to edit out of the Taco Bell reading thing. I just kept adding fuck into like every translation, so I had to edit that out for the podcast. It was really bad.
The children watching language.
I'm sorry.
What?
No one. My Christian ears.
God, our demographic is just Christians and children. You gotta be careful.
All right, John. I'll let you read this next one, man.
So, is there anything else you're working on, Caesar, besides the podcast or the gaming channel? Tell us a bit about the gaming channel, like anything else you might be working on.
The gaming channel, sure. I'll start off with that. The gaming channel, we're playing 3 games right now on there, and then we have a one-off thing that's coming out as well. But one of the things that me and my best friend really love is Dark Souls. So we're going to try to play every iteration of Dark Souls, every from software game from the beginning to the end, except Demon Souls, because that's a little bit different, and none of us have a PS5. So, and then yeah, we love doing that. And then we're also playing a game called Dante's Inferno, which is about a man called, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but the man's named Dante. Yeah. Basically, he cheated on his wife, and then he's trying to go through the 7 circles of hell, trying to get her back after cheating on her. And then we're playing past the time. I'm just like, all right.
Dude, those are all great games. Only one I haven't heard of is Dante's Inferno. I know I'm familiar with like the Greek epithet Dante's Inferno, but I'm not familiar with the video game. What kind of
It's Greek, is it?
Is it?
I think it's an adaptation of like Christian ideas, but like completely different. I don't think it's Greek.
Do you mean Hades? Are you thinking about Hades?
No. I mean Dante's Inferno. I mean, I don't think Dante's is Greek.
I think it's Greek. I think it's Greek. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong because I have no clue.
There's a few different gods that are mentioned throughout the whole thing. You have, I believe it's a little bit Greek and like kind of Roman Catholic Christian ideals that come through the whole game as well.
I stand corrected.
That game is very graphic. There's a lot of titties in it. There's a lot of blood, and there's just a lot of. We're being honest. There's a lot of stuff. Right? A lot of stuff we have to blur out, but.
Oh man, the editing process must be cruel.
So many.
Our friend
Okay.
Alejandro loves From Software games, and I think he'd appreciate this.
Oh yeah, true.
I
Oh
thought,
my god, Alejandro's super into all those
I
games.
thought you were gonna say our friend Alejandro loves titties, and I was like, Evan, please.
That too, that too.
Well, I love both, but one of them is more of a preference than the other. But no, I've played almost every From Software game myself. I love the challenge, especially when I was younger, learning how to play Dark Souls from my best friend. He taught me how to play it because I wasn't doing anything right when he came over, and I told him, "Oh, I started playing this game like a month ago." He's like, well, "Let me check it out," and he just kept ripping on me for the bad decisions and stuff that I was doing with my character. And so I learned from him how to play
Mhm.
that game right in a sense because he thinks he's always right. He's not always right, but maybe that's just the narcissistic side of him. But it's just no, they're great games. I really love them.
Mhm.
That's sick. That's
Oh
sick.
hell yeah, dude!
Well, I mean,
I'll check it out because I love me. I'll check out both the podcast and the gaming channel because I both like swearing, and I just don't know. I like swearing. I like when shows and other stuff don't care about swearing and they just go off. I'm like, yeah, I can relate. Because sometimes I just want something where I'm like, yeah, I just wanna relate. I can't go ape shit. I want to see someone else go ape shit.
Oh God, yeah, especially my friend Nick. Me and him when we get together, honestly we don't give two shits what we say. Really, we really don't. So there's a lot of controversial things that we talk about a lot too. Sometimes, like life, aliens, abortion, religion. It's just a lot of the things we talk about are pretty controversial that just pop up in our discussion. That's not even on our lesson plan. Like, all right, what we're gonna go through and talk about. It just happens, and then especially him. I kind of go ham sometimes if it's a topic that I'm very familiar with and assertive about. But
Yeah.
he just goes on for like 5-10 minutes sometimes about stuff. I'm just like, man, how can he talk like that? It's crazy.
that kind of also
Uh,
again reminds me of us when it comes to kind of getting sidetracked and just talking about like
yeah.
whatever the fuck we want to.
We
Except it's
haven't
more of a
talked about
joke.
aliens.
We joke about controversial topics way too often.
Yeah, we don't actually like genuinely discuss that type of stuff just because we want to avoid any
No.
form of controversy. But we do make our fair share of jokes about you know
No, be
someone.
controversial. Do it. That's what podcasts are for.
Oh,
To
you
get
think
the
so?
real topics out, unlike the media and TV does, man. That's just how it is.
Speak truth.
That's what I've
Speak
been
truth, dog.
saying.
Oh my god.
Hey,
As long as you joke about it, but you don't necessarily mean topics that are actually like harmful and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
But joking about it is all fine. That's all fair game. Because if someone gets offended about a joke, that's their problem.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
Jokes are. I don't remember the word, but yeah, if somebody gets
joke.
offended at a joke, it's kind of just like, oh, it's a joke. You can't take it too seriously.
Some people do, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
so is there anything else besides the podcast and the gaming channel? Anything else you have on the works or been thinking of doing?
Um, I started streaming on Twitch because I thought, why not give that a try? It's been I've done it for like 2 times. It's fun.
Mm.
It's just like whenever I would play video games myself, anyways. It's just that no one's watching, but
Oh,
that's
it
just
takes a while to get any viewership. Usually, like at first, all I had were my friends to watch me, but eventually, you grow a little bit here and there.
yeah.
Mm.
It's
Uh,
fun.
yeah. What's your Twitch name by the way, just so people can
Uh,
know.
it's a cozy BigCease.
Cozy Big. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You followed. You follow. Okay, I'll definitely give you a follow back. And also, luckily, his Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, like literally everything's gonna be linked on the website, and we'll find a way to link it on Instagram as well, just so people have an easier way to reach out to you.
Yeah, that's easy. I can do that for you.
Yeah. So all
Nice.
right.
Okay. Not to get existential, but do you have any future plans, any goals you want to achieve soon or in the distant future?
Well, for the rest of this year, I'd like everything the content wise that I'm doing to grow just a little bit. I know that stuff takes a lot longer, but if that grows just a little bit as it is now, because it has been, but so that'd be nice. I plan, like I said, to also finish my next EP by the end of this year. I already have everything written and done for the most part that I'm going to record. I'm just figuring out other little things for it as well. And then other goals, mm, honestly, just to keep writing and making more music and more stuff that I want to do. Just fun things and that I'd like to do, and not try to be too stressful about other stuff.
That's a pretty good goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to think of it. I mean, you know what you're doing, you know what you like to do. You have, I mean, the EP. I'm really excited for the EP, and you know, maybe for when that comes around, you can come back on the show. We could talk a little more. We can goof around a little more. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to.
yeah, that's awesome to hear. Other than that, I think we're getting a little close to the end. Let's play our closing off song, which is Grabbing the Moon V2, and we'll come right back.
Cool.
In the earliest hours of my everyday, I lie awake and think about my name. What does it mean to have a place to stay? Does it even matter if I fade away? No more, I'm tired. Go away. I don't know how to say, leave me alone, or else I'll forget your name. I think I'll stay here for a while and think about my sorry lies and think about my horror ties, to find my way through the door, to find a castle made of light, to sail me down the seas of ride. I think I'll stay here for a while and think about my name. In the earliest hours of my everyday, I lie awake and think about my name. What does it mean to have a place to stay? Does it even matter if I fade away? Won't you tell me your name? Your name. Tell me your name. Your name.
Dude, that song is so freaking good. I don't know how it is, Caesar.
I love the trumpet.
Yes, definitely. Actually, Caesar, by any chance, do you have
Oh.
like the trumpet to the side of you or anything?
Yeah, I always have my instruments out and in my workspace.
Can you like give us a quick little riff? Sorry to put you on the spot, but I just want to hear you fucking
Um,
toot that shit.
Sure. I'll try not to be too loud, or I'll face my trumpet the other way. Let me know if it's too blaring, but I'm gonna try to face it away from the microphone.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sounds good. How's that?
God damn.
Oh, dude, it was really good. It was awesome.
Dang. All this
Dude,
is
I
just
was
a
I was
practice.
I was so impressed because I have the Twitch chat open, and because it lags. I just saw him like not playing it, and I heard just music come out of it. I was like, "Whoa, he's so good! He can play without putting his mouth near the boring part of the trumpet."
No,
He's
that's
psychic.
I've been
Just
playing
playing
trumpet for
music in my
about
head.
12 years, so
Oh,
That's crazy.
that's how I started playing music. Was on the trumpet.
Yeah, and you said something about like when you went into college, people were like you have to live, breathe, like
His
trumpet,
That was
instructor, I
right?
believe.
that was my trumpet teacher who was giving me lessons for about 2.5 years when I was in college. He was
Every
telling
instructor
me,
says that.
huh?
That's true.
Every instructor tells you that you need to live by the instrument. Like they all
It's
live by the instruments. It's their religion.
it's true though. Honestly, if you really want to go pro and be like amazing when it comes to your principal instrument, it's true. It
Yeah,
really is.
true. Yeah, they really do make you give it your all. That's something I was always a little iffy about, but because for me, like I like learning a lot of different instruments, and you know, I think we're all kind of like in the same boat there, where we like to try different stuff. We're into a lot of different things here.
mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, I think we'll close this puppy out. So again, this is Caesar Vega, Big Cease.
Can I say one last thing?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, go for it, go for it.
This might curse the entire album, but some of the last song we listened to reminded me of Gary Come Home from the SpongeBob.
That is a huge compliment, man, dude.
No, definitely. That's a great song. Everybody knows that song.
Oh yeah,
It is a great one.
That's a good
That's
compliment.
it's a great song.
Wow, but yeah. So Caesar, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, this is the first interview that we do at all on this show, and I'm glad it went like as well as it did. Um,
mm-hmm.
and again, you have a lot coming up. Hopefully, maybe we can have you some other time. We can goof around a little more. For the people at home, you guys could get all of his links. He has a lot going on. You can get all of his links on the website. We'll find a way to post it on
Oh
the
yeah,
Instagram as well.
I
Uh,
got you there.
you know, gaming YouTube channel, music YouTube channel, the Vibing podcast, the Twitch, the album, all of it's gonna be linked.
All
Other
of
than
it.
that, thank you so much for being here, Caesar. It was great
Thank
Hell
having
you,
you.
yeah.
dude. Thank you for
Well,
thank you for being here, dude.
It's appreciated.
well, thank you guys for having me on here. If you guys ever want to be on my podcast, just let me know and I'll have y'all come on down, and then we just get as controversial and crazy as we want. But
Oh yeah.
Dude, oh my god, just like a little, what is it? A crossover episode.
yeah, crossover episode. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'd love to be on again. This is fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah,
Hopefully next time we can be a little bit more controversial with having you here.
yeah, we'll bring up some serious topics for you, Caesar.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
We'll,
like
we'll
I have no idea.
borderline like almost get canceled, but not get canceled.
Yes,
And then
please.
some.
I love talking about stuff like that.
All right, we'll definitely plan that out for next time. Other than that, for viewers at home, you guys have a great morning. This was the We Need Sleep podcast. Again, Caesar Vega. And that's it. We're signing out. Have a great morning, guys.
Good morning, y'all.
Bye everyone, and get some sleep. You need
Have a good
it.
one.
Goodbye.